Okay, this is the reading for the Taurus female in a coupled relationship. I'm doing an anchor spread, so this is a spread I made up on my own. I will post the graphic at the end. I'll put the romance cards and the love cards in the video at the end, so you can see them as a whole, not just individuals. So happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to get right into it. The first card I get for the couples, I get the 3 of coins. So we have that earth energy, but we have, okay, so these female couples are trying to force something within the relationship is the sense I'm getting, in a romantic sense, trying to force their power over their partner. There's something that's and I mean, we're talking about romance here with this 3 of coins. So there's maybe trying to be on a physical or romantic way, trying to force something on your partner that's not really. I feel like there's a little bit of dynamics there that need to be considered. The next card I get on the sex side is the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is really about sexual activity that can go to the darker side of things, okay? So we get that forceful energy, and then we get the dark energy beside it. So not only on the romantic side of things are we trying to force, but we're trying to force things in the bedroom. So there's something funny going on here with the Taurus female in the relationship trying to force things, okay? So you have to be aware of that. The next card I get is the 9 of coins. Now the 9 of coins is about being in that grounded relationship, solid. Everybody outside you knows you're solid. You feel solid. It's all good. You're very comfortable with each other, and it's a mutual thing. Nothing's out of balance there. Okay, so that's interesting because we have this forceful energy on the side, and I'm going to isolate that a bit. And then we have this grounded relationship in the center. So the next card I get on the sex side of things is the Nine of Cups. Now this clarifies things, okay? This clarifies what's going on. Now we have this great grounded relationship that you're in, and we have an offer of love coming from the outside. Now this is getting into the creepy area, forceful. Someone forcing their energy on you, or maybe being attracted to you, and they don't care that you're married, coupled, whatever, in a relationship, okay? So this coupled relationship can be as light as well, as light as dating, and as heavy as a marriage commitment for a long time, right? But we have the 9 of Pentacles here, really accentuating that grounded feeling. You're very grounded in the relationship. You guys are solid. But we have someone from the outside here. Could be a water sign, could not be. But they're kind of almost forcing their energy upon you, okay? So be aware of that. I have a feeling that you are aware of that. We'll carry on. The next card I get is the 9 of Swords. Now the 9 of Swords is about, they're making me aware of that mirror there, right? There's a mirror here that both of them are looking into. I feel like the relationship that you have is a mirror. You're very much found contentment in who your partner is, okay? But it's also looking at the Knight of Cups and going, there's some things about this dude that's coming at you in that way that you need to look at, that you carry yourself, that there's something about that person that is agitating you, and it's because you carry those qualities yourself. So you need to look at that and analyze that, because I feel like you're very offended, and I would be too if someone came at me. I'm in a relationship. They know they don't care. That's disrespect, right? That flat out. So, but beyond that, there's characteristics this person carries, kind of a light flippant attitude, like I can get what I want and I don't care. Somehow it agitates you to a degree that you got to look at that within your own, either within your own self or within your relationship. but yet I feel like there's a great solidity within the relationship. So I'm going to carry on. The next card I get on the sex side for the Nine of Swords is the Four of Cups. We have a contradiction here, so I have to make sure I split the energies properly. I have a situation where, and in this card, normally it's where people are really lost, from taken away from their emotions. Their tools are taken away from them. So they're kind of, you know, and they're really making me feel like these two are conspiring to meet. So if and their tools are lost, like something here is not right. Like either there's someone approaching the Taurus female where it's shady behavior, shady something, okay? But at the same time, we're only talking, okay? But there's something that needs to be said, and I'm getting a sense here that it's like a conspiring to something. Now, you may be conspiring with your partner to figure out how to deal with this person that come forward. You may be doing that. So as I carry on here, I have the 16 as the Tower. So some kind of shock and awe comes out of nowhere to straighten things out. So be aware of that energy, because it's huge, and it's right underneath. It's right underneath the happy couple card, the content couple card. You know, so it's something that shakes it up. Now it may be that you had a talk with someone about their behavior. Okay. That they're maybe coming at you in a way that you don't like, you don't appreciate, but maybe you kept it from your partner thinking, I'm not going to bug them, I'm going to deal with them myself, and then it's going to be dealt with, right? But to some degree, it's not on the level the partner doesn't know, so he's not defended for it, and then it comes out in that way. And then we have the Three of Swords, which is making me think there's another person here that's interfering for sure. Okay, now I'm getting the sense from the Four of Cups, even though that's not the original meaning, that you're trying to deal with this on your own, and you're not crossing any boundaries here. You're trying to deal with this and not cause upset, because I feel like this person almost wants the upset. They almost want to cause destruction, and it seems like it's going to come no matter what, how you deal with it. So don't think you made the wrong decision, because it's all coming out to the partner now, and and it's going to be a big deal and a shock. But nonetheless, we got to be aware here that we don't have feelings for that person that we're dealing with, because they're going to be used against us. Okay, meaning that other person may know that you have feelings, and they're going to really pull that to the best of their ability to try and get you on their side of things. But I feel nonetheless there's a strong, stable relationship here, but something's going on. So as I move on here, I have the Queen of Canes. So this is interesting, because the Queen of Canes, right, she's the fire sign. So she's, and I get a sense from this card, she's gone out, she's, you know, she's tired from being so active. So we have to watch that activity, because it's right underneath the Tower. It's like I'm going out and doing things. And then in the card too, we have the cane and hat from her partner, but he's not there at the moment. So was she with her partner, or was she with someone else? You gotta be aware of that. What's going on there? Now to clarify that, in the bedroom, we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords has really been through heartbreak. She's the one that's really shut off emotionally. She's been through too much. She cannot wear her heart on her sleeve, and she can come off as being cold. Okay, so we have the fiery sign and the ice cold sign, right? So we have someone here that's doing a lot of activity, but in one area is shut off emotionally. And I'm getting the sense that it's that outward offer. She's like, you know, shutting off, you know, shut it down. I don't have no, you know, I don't want to deal with this. Because on that side, there's some activity here where this guy's really wanting to come in and kind of throw his weight around. And you're going, okay, wait a minute. I'm not going to tell my husband about this, but I don't appreciate da da da, right? Refusing that, and then maybe not getting any difference in that conversation, and then turning to a nice cold bitch and saying, okay, that's enough about it. Because not only does he maybe, or he may, explode things that turn into the tower, right? That have those things happen that are shocking. He may go to your husband and tell a lie. It may be as advanced as that. And then suddenly you have to figure that out, because it's like, no, we never did this, or we never, whatever. So there may be a little bit of a conspiracy here against you. So be aware. That's what I'm picking up here. It's not good. As we go on and continue, we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, right? She's knowledgeable. She knows what's going on. There's some mystery around her, and she deals with her intuition quite well. But she's learned. She's like the wise old owl. She knows what's going on. She ain't going to make a mistake. She cannot be fooled. And this makes me feel that no matter what, you guys kind of get through it. It doesn't break up the relationship, but it sure doesn't cause smooth sailing either. So the next card I get beside that is interesting. It's the High Priestess again. So it's like, oh no, you fool me once, you fool me twice, it don't matter. I'm seeing right through. So this woman in the coupled relationships is not only being loyal, but she is standing up for her own rights and her own self. And she's not going to be fooled. And this man is trying to fool her. And I feel like not only that, because I got the double priestess, you ain't going to fool me, you ain't going to fool my husband. Because we know we have a bond bigger than anything that you could even try to create. So don't even go there. But that man didn't know that, right? Until he created this havoc. And then he's booted out. So he was on his high horse coming in saying, I can break him up and I can take her, and put her over the back and drive off into my cave. That's the kind of man we're dealing with here. A real, a knight, but very backwards, very upside down, right? So anyway, if he's the Knight of Cups, man, he's just completely delusional. He's off in some weird land there. It's just not reality. So as we continue on, we have the Two of Swords. So I feel like the Taurus female may be in a place where she's guarding her heart now. She's like, and I feel like it's just, she cannot have a male friend. Because I feel like this person, she either had a history with them and they're trying to come back, or this person is just, she just can't give him any more chances. She has to guard her heart and lock it out. She cannot deal. And then the Magician is really stating, yeah, you got all the tools. You know what you need to do. Just do it and you'll be fine. And part of that is locking this person out. Like, no more, we're not going to deal with this in a happy way. I can't, because at one point I feel like there was a discussion here where I'm dealing with this and we're not going to have it. And she laid down the track. But he went over that boundary, disrespected her word, and her relationship, and went cause havoc. Tried to cause havoc, right? Because it did to a certain degree. It's a hiccup that she wished she wouldn't have had. But I don't think either way, it would have turned out the same either way. Whether you did tell your partner or didn't, it would have blown up to a degree, because that person that is coming at you is just, that's just what they do. They just create chaos. And it don't matter what you did, he was just going to do the same thing anyway. Now, as we move on, and the thing is, she's well equipped to handle this, and her relationship is well equipped to handle this. I think it's going to cause some stress, but I think that the partner knows. Like, these two partners, they know each other. The Taurus female and her partner, they know each other. They know the other person wouldn't do that. They know what that person feels about that other person. And they know there's just not something that would happen. So there is a trust in the relationship that really just buries that other person. So the next card I get is the Nine of Canes. So interesting, because we have the child in the background. So there may be a relationship here that has family. You have a child and you're also dealing with a lot of these stressors, right? But yet we have the couple smooching. So very much whatever chaos this tower brought in, right? And usually the tower is like the universe trying to come in to break things up because it's not the way that it should be, not listening to intuition, right? And this may be the case. But I don't think that this relationship is meant to break. I think this relationship she's in is meant to stay. But she's meant to kind of fight for it in a way, or stand up for herself in that way. And that's what's happening. So the Nine of Canes is really about, going, oh man, I can't believe this happened, and leaning on your partner, and your partner saying, you know what, thanks for standing up, da da da, thanks for, and then it kind of creates actually the counter effect that the predator coming in there wanted it to take. He really wanted to bust up that relationship and take her home. And if she's kicking and screaming, he don't care. That's the kind of the attitude I got here. If he's kicking and screaming, I don't care, but I'm taking her. That's it. She's coming. Whether she's, and what kind of prize is that? You get home, she's gonna be clawing at the door. Why do you want that? But that's the energy that's coming. And so her standing up for herself and her husband when she went and talked, because I get a feeling that there was a talk here that happened where she went and she got, I'm going to deal with this and I'm going to tell him. I had to stand my ground. And she did. And he just flew all over that. And then there's appreciation from the husband going, you know what? Yeah, I think. And I get a sense too that the husband is kind of like shaking his head, but at the same time, his faith in his woman is still there. It really didn't get shattered because he knew her. She knew him. It just, there was no sense here in any of it. So really, this guy just lost any footing that he may have had to deal with her rationally. It's not going to happen. And then the sex card, the Eight of Pentacles, is the card I get on top of that. So it's interesting because the Nine of Canes, Nine of Wands, is about really showing affection to that partner, right? And then the Eight of Pentacles, but intimately, I'm having a problem. I'm feeling off. I don't feel, and it's almost like I don't feel clean. Just having this person come and attack me in that way, and now they're gone. We've dealt with that situation. I just don't feel like I can be intimate. Like it's that damaging to the person that they feel like they cannot physically express themselves to their partner properly. Like it bothered them that much. Even though their partner is very much like, it's okay. I see what happened. I know what happened. And they're like, yeah, but I need time to get over it. It just, I can't, like there's something there that it's just, I can't just jump into bed and make things right. This bothers me too much. So they're really holding resentment against that other person and letting it get in the relationship, which is not good. But it's almost a sense like, are we getting rid of this? Is this going to go now? Or am I going to have more problems here? So they're just to a point where they can't let go and be totally themselves in the relationship, which is too bad. But they're going to have to get over that. So there's a sense here that the husband has forgiven her, but she hasn't forgiven herself for maybe not telling her husband. I feel like that's the only discrepancy here. She should have told her husband, but like I said, you tell your husband, you don't tell your husband, he's still going to do what he was going to do anyway. He was still going to cause a ruckus anyway. So no, that's the sense I get here. It just was going to happen. But nonetheless, the Taurus female, she takes it out on herself, and then it actually, goes to her partner, because her partner really accepts and knows full well, has full faith in his partner. She's not going to do that. She wouldn't do that to me. He knows that, but she hasn't forgiven herself. So there's a little bit there that she has to get over, and I think maybe once that's done, she'll be okay. Now, the next card I get is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is that regal partner, right? He stands up for what he believes in, and he's, it's interesting. I didn't notice this before, but the tip of his sword is broke off. So he's been through battles where he's still going to fight whether his tip is gone or not. So I don't know if this is the person that's trying to get in between the two, or if this is the husband. I feel like this is the person that's trying to get in between the two. Like he's just maybe all in his ego going, you may have broke my tip off, but I ain't giving up. So be aware of that energy there. We may have someone here that's not dealing all in all 4 cylinders, or 6 or 8 even. I think maybe 1. One's working here. Because there's a sense of not being sane. you know, not being sane in the mind where they're listening to what's right and wrong. Okay. They're just doing selfishly, egotistically, to the highest degree I've ever sensed. So be aware of that, because it's kind of an unstoppable energy. And as bad news as that is, you may have to take legal steps to get rid of this person. And if that's done already, you have to reinforce that. You have to make the people aware that need to be aware that this is happening. We don't want to put this too much under the carpet, even though, because he will not go away. He will not go away in a rational sense. This man is not rational. So he will not go away. He needs to be stopped. And we cannot stop him ourselves. So we need to make sure that how do you say, whoever, you know, the law needs to know, because there's a record here of this person and he just will not be stopped. And I feel like this needs to be taken very seriously. So that is, he could be an air sign. So that's an Aquarius, Libra, or a Gemini that's kind of gone awry. They're really not in their right mind. They're irrational, and they're not going to listen to reason. That's the last thing they listen to, actually. They're really on the other side of things. So you need to just make the authorities aware of this. If they are aware of it, remind them. Very highly, you need to do that, because this guy's not going to stop. It isn't going to end. And this stress that you're feeling is there because that's what he's feeling. He's not going to give up. But you need to let people outside of you know, so that it can be dealt with properly. And it will, if you do that properly. So the last card I get is the Ace of Wands. Now, this is a really good card, okay? Because the Ace of Wands is really about absorbing, right? That's that fiery energy, the passion that you get. And it may have kind of reignited things within your current relationship, where you are now really proud to have, even though you're having a little problem with the intimacy because of the stress of all of this, you know, you're really having to digest this and not kind of being in a daze. Like, I can't believe this. That's what I'm getting. It's like there's a big blowout here and you're kind of dazed by the whole thing. Even though it doesn't surprise you, it did surprise you, okay? It doesn't surprise you that the person would do that, but it's surprising because it's just something you're not expecting. Now, the Ace of Wands, we end on some good energy here, which is connecting to your partner. And we have to be aware that this woman here, the Ace of Wands, she's got a belly. It's a little bigger than normal, right? So there's very much an awareness here of, you know, you could be bringing a new baby into the world. You could be bonding, right? This could have created a situation where you bond and you're thankful, and you may even get pregnant through that. And the big thing here, though, is that in the background of this card, we have this fiery energy, and it's like, yeah, that relationship in the past, it's so far back, it's going to burn up and be gone. So that's, even though I feel the energy of this man is not going to be stopped, he can be stopped legally, okay? And I feel outside of legal law, it will not be stopped. It has to be legal law that stops this, not you. Because we've tried in this area many times, and he needs to be dealt with by the authorities. Serious, but that's what they said to me. Authorities have to be brought in here. Having to deal with the authorities through this, it just is the sense I'm getting. We cannot do it on our own. We have to make records, and those records, things will be on lockdown if that's what it takes, okay? Some pretty serious energy, but I feel if we deal with this, because I feel a reluctance for the woman to really want to deal with this. Like, no, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. But we can't do it privately. We need to expose this for what it is, because it's really only going to do him good, not you good. You need to protect yourself from this, because this man, I feel, is just not going to give up. And even though the direction, the Ace of Wands, it kind of brings you guys closer and more loving to each other, to a deeper level. Like I said, it's not something that outside person wants, but it's something that naturally brings you. I feel like it brings some more passion into the relationship that kind of was maybe not felt for a while, or you know, you're busied up, and so it kind of bring the passion back to your partner, because your partner really, and you had a chance to shine throughout all of this experience. You really dealt with things the way you're supposed to, and like I said, there's a reluctance to go to authorities. Go. You need to do that, because that is the step that is missing here that needs to be taken, and it will be, like I see bars here. They're showing on lockdown. Bars. 3 bars in front of a... So if we need to do that, we need to do that. It's just the way. This person is not mentally, they're not sound enough to make judgment calls, and they need to be stopped. So if you are being infringed upon, you need to really, yeah, go in that direction for sure. So in the meantime, like I said, sorry, I had a break here, the phone rang, but the Ace of Wands is all about that new direction, and getting rid of the old, okay? So this guy may not give up, but your relationship is really going to flourish, and you're going to continue to go in a good direction in that way. And you need to focus on that and less on the energy that, you know, you tell the authorities, so you need to tell, and you carry on with your life and you let it go. Because the more energy you drive in that direction, the more energy it gives that person. And that's what I don't think people understand. I once overheard a lady in a store. She was going, you know, I just don't understand why. I just don't. I was praying to God the night before. I don't want to deal with Jimmy. I don't want to deal with Jimmy. I don't want to deal with Jimmy. And then what do you know? The next day, Jimmy comes in. And it's like, well, we were thinking about Jimmy. We're focusing on Jimmy. We're visualizing Jimmy. So there you go. That's the energy match. No matter if it's good or bad, it's going to come. So this is, I think, too, a lot of the energy that we need to let go. We just need to focus on good stuff. Because this was bad. This is really bad stuff. Bad energy, black energy, really, is what I'm getting. So we need to not focus there. We need to get rid of that and move in a good direction. Where my partner, because he is strong, stable, sturdy, and he is good for me. And I mean, we all know this. There's no way this person could break it up. But again, he's not logical. He's not rational. So he's going to try. And it's to the degree that he's going to get stopped. So do what you need to do in that way. Go to the authorities, whatever, and get that stopped. Because I feel like it's only a 2-step process. You have to go in there, make a report, go in there, and da-da-da, and boom. They're going to get him, because he's really hovering, and he ain't going to give up because he's not rational. So anyway, I'm not going to stress on that anymore. Freak anybody out. But I think we know the people that this applies to. We know what we're dealing with here, and we just really can't give that person the benefit of the doubt, because they're really not going to straighten up. They're not going to change. It's going to get worse, not better. And this is what needs to happen. So just take that, nudge that forward in a good way. Get the authorities involved and do what you need to do there. And I think you'll be fine. I think it's clear from there. You just have to take, there's a 2-step process. You just take those 2 steps and you'll be good to go. So hopefully that helps. It's really a bit of a weird situation there, but a lot of bad energy that wants to infringe upon something that's really good. They can't create, they have no idea how to get to where you two are as a couple, and it's not fair that he's going out in that way and making a mess of what he's doing. So that needs to be stopped. And I think that you guys have all the tools, you have all the background, you guys have given the benefit of the doubt. We know what we're dealing with here, so we just really have to go in that direction and do our due diligence in the way that we need to do to stop this process. Because there is a way to stop it, and we just really have to go public with it in that way that he figures that she's not going to do. And she does have that instinct. I don't want to do it, but she's got to push through that. I feel like the partner is really going to talk some sense anyway. And she knows this has to happen. So that's really what's going to go. So again, some heavy energy there for the Taurus female coupled, but hopefully this helps you. I feel like, help or not help, I feel like this situation transpires. It's a huge karmic thing, but I feel like it's more in the way of the Taurus female really having to stand up for herself and go, yeah, here's a boundary and you're not going to cross it anymore. You may have gotten the benefit all along, but now no more. I am standing up and da da da, and it helps you in your relationship moving forward as well. So strengthening exercise here universally. It's not fun, and the Tower card really amps up the severity of it, but nonetheless something that needs to progress in order to get to where we're going, and that's a strength, an inner core of strength this female has to feel, and I think she had to feel it in order to make herself realize, or she had to feel it in order to understand how strong she really can be. You know, we never know how strong we are until those moments come at us, and we have to use that strength, right? So this is one of those moments. So happy Valentine's Day, February. I don't know, this is a pretty harsh month for this Taurus female in a couple relationship, but I feel like, you know, the strength in your relationship helps you move forward. So take advantage of that. Good luck in the future. Take care of yourself. Be safe, have fun, and be kind.